Just a couple of weeks ago, I've been reflecting and going back to the beginning because April is the official 10th year anniversary of Bellafricana. And as I was looking through every single folder from 2016 till date, I got so emotional because there were some of those moments that I had forgotten. We had a space where we paid for 2 years only because we used it as a warehouse. We wanted potential customers to be able to see and feel the products of some of our members, and that then led to a partnership with one of our mentors, the Adisas. And so we partnered with them to have our next space. I think that was in 2018. I totally forgot. I found one of the videos and I was like, oh my God, we did have this space too. And fast forward, we also then had a space in at the Good Beach.
The Good Beach, yeah,
yes?
True. I
you almost forgot that. At the Good Beach, with this amazing young entrepreneurs too. But it has been, I don't even know how I'm not crying right now, because looking back God has just been faithful. Then fast forward to when we launched our first exhibition, the ACE Awards. We call that the African Creative Exhibition and Awards, where we just wanted to celebrate creativity. Because we wanted more young entrepreneurs and creatives to understand that they can create quality products that can stand in any shelf in anywhere in the world that they went to. And so we started that just in 2016, 2017.
Yeah, about that time.
3 editions later was when we then relocated to the UK. But we have raised well over hundreds of millions for creative entrepreneurs. We now have over 20,000 creatives in the Bellafricana ecosystem. And it's been such a beautiful journey. Hey, there's one I would not forget. When I started Bellafricana, and I like how now you don't say it's passion for me anymore. It's an obsession. There was a time so we got married in 2015. After we got married, our honeymoon, after that, we traveled to America for the first time together. Yeah. And I told...
You carried the entire...
Yes. And my entire suitcase was filled with some of the amazing products from some of our members. And because I wanted to sell those products when I traveled to Fort Lauderdale in Miami, I had it in my suitcase. And then there were situations we had to
pay for extra luggage. Plenty extra luggage. Multi-cities extra luggage.
And I remember Toby was like, babe, this is not happening again. I'm sure he must have just been like, what has God set me up with this human being that is literally a philanthropist when it comes to creative entrepreneurs? And, just looking back, it's been such a beautiful journey, and I could not imagine doing this life and this journey with this amazing human. I feel like with Bellafricana, I don't even think I'll still be doing it if not because of this amazing human.
No, I'm gonna cry.
And then fast forward to when we moved back to the UK in 2022.
When we moved to the UK, and I do remember very, very well. I think I was back in Nigeria, and then Bukky called me and she was like, I think it's time for me to start this UK version. And I was like, okay, let's do it. And then I came back, I think less than 4 weeks. Before you know it, we're on Oxford Street, the first exhibition live, and very amazing.
Yeah, that part is the rosy part, but I'll tell you the non-rosy part. The part where when we moved here, I felt so stuck. I felt mentally, I was like, how is Bellafricana going to do this in this new season, this new ecosystem? Where do I start from? And I almost lost touch of my why I had been building Bellafricana, and I was this close to giving up. I had mentally composed the announcement of how, I'm sorry, I'm going to have to shut down Bellafricana. I just lost touch with Bellafricana in that season. And, a year after, I went through a lot of moments of audacity. Those are the parts that Toby is not going to talk about. The parts where I was like, it's time to find another job or find another career entirely. And I just felt lost, But fast forward, that moment when Toby got back and he asked me, so what's the plan? And I told him, we're going to do this. I'm ready for Bellafricana in the UK. And guess what? We're going to have our first pop-up on Oxford Street for 7 days. That was in 2023. 2023, and all I said to my husband was, just do the maths for me. How much do I need to raise to make sure this thing is, at least let's even break even. Let's start this thing. Let's prove this concept. Are African creatives ready to come into a new market, to invest in themselves, to show up for their creativity? And we had 15 brands who said
15
yes.
brands, yeah.
15
Within 4 weeks.
Within 4 weeks. It was like 30 days.
And some flew from Africa.
Some flew from Africa, from different parts of Nigeria, from Ghana. And this was me on Bellafricana's name was on Oxford Street. We were dancing to Ahana Believe right opposite Zara.
I do
58 Oxford Street.
I do remember when one of the shoppers came in and I was like, wow, I mean Africa on Oxford Street. I've never seen this. You guys are doing amazing. And they thought we've been doing it for like 20 years.
That was our first edition, and at the end of that event, I remember going live and just praising God and just thanking God. But when I go home, I said to my husband, I said, I'm not doing this again. Too much work. I can't. I'm too stressed. I don't want to do this again. No. But hey, woke up the next day and I'm like, we go again. Let's get ready for 2024. And
do you know what? She now said, let's do it for 2 weeks. I said, no, not 2 weeks yet.
Please.
Let's do 10 days.
Let's do 10 days. And yes, 2024 came. And we did that. And we had about 35 brands,
35
I think.
brands. We did it for 10 days or 8 days or something like that.
No, 10 days.
10 days, yeah. 10 days.
At this beautiful gallery, just off Tottenham Court Road. That again was another stretch. It was, it was such a moment. And so fast forward again, 2025 last year.
Yep.
Last year was the year that I felt like, okay, I believe we're ready.
Yeah, there's something big going on there.
Something big. But then again, we forgot about the part where we started as calling it Summer Pop-Up London.
Oh, yeah, true.
And then it evolved to the African Lifestyle Experience. Shout out to Abby, who one of the conversations I was having with Abby was what led to that, where she was like, Bukky, Bellafricana is not just about fashion, it's about lifestyle. You love beauty brands, lifestyle brands. It's really an African tale. It's really the African lifestyle experience. And one day in the middle of the night, I just had this eureka moment. I remember I woke you up and I was like, babe, Tales. And she's like, what do you mean? And I'm like, stories. Tales by Moonlight. Stories. The acronym is Tales. It's stories. And that's what we're doing. We want to not just get these creatives selling their products, but we want their stories to be heard.
To be heard all over the world.
All over the world, globally. Yes, we're starting with London, but we're going to go into global cities. And so Tales was birthed in 2024.
Yep.
And so last year was the year we had 70 brands over 10 days. And that was the year that it felt like, yes, this is looking like where we are headed. This is become more sustainable. This event can run itself with the communities, with the African creative entrepreneurs who desire to be seen, who desire to be valued, who desire to be discovered, who are ready to take on the world, who are producing amazing products, who can stand in the shelves of any stores globally, bring on Harrods, bring on Selfridges. But how about one of our own?
I think you've forgotten a very good part of the story. After 2014 event, Tales.
Yeah.
We were like, we need to get a space. And we started looking for a space. And I remember I was finding one space in Oxford Street. We did the proposal.
Oh yes.
And then we were trying to see, okay, how do we get the space and likes of it. And then, they told us what it was going to take, and we looked at ourselves and said, okay, we need to.
We're not there yet.
we need to take a step back for
yes, that was in 2024.
Yeah,
see,
2024.
I almost forgot that.
Yeah, the very year she said she doesn't want to go ahead again.
It's funny how when your comfort zone is being threatened, it's a hard one to stretch. But now that you say that, every time it was time for Tales, we always struggled to find a place that fits. It was always a struggle to find that space that we could call ours to bring the experience alive. But 2025 happened, and that's how we have entered 2026, and now we're looking back at 10 years, and here we are.
Awesome.